Yeah, this time isn't gonna work.
Fucking easy, buddy. This is fucking easy, man.
However easy the Rizzutos made it look, the surveillance tapes revealed that a lot of their work is done by telephone. When you listen to the recordings, remember, they're not actors reading a script. They're real-life professional gangsters relying on a well-honed, time-honored technique, intimidation.
Bro, you gotta give me money today.
Today?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Let me talk to you. Where are you? Can I see you?
The unlucky recipient of this call owes a gambling debt of $112,000.
I'm not waiting after today. After today, my partner said he's gonna come and he's gonna break every limb in your body. I want $112,000 today.
Come on.
Okay?
Serious, bro?
We're gonna come and get you in your fucking house. I don't give a fuck. I want 112 G's today, or bro, where we catch you, we're gonna leave you.
The Rizzuto's chief enforcer is Frank Del Balso.
I want my fucking money today, or Lorenzo says he's gonna grab you, he's gonna fucking turn you into a pretzel. And don't fuck with him, bro.
So I don't want to fuck with nobody, man.
Listen to me. Go get 112 dimes, and you save yourself a fucking beating of your life.
Offers hard to refuse aren't only for deadbeat gamblers. An overdue notice from a Rizzuto-connected company brings a customer service call like this.
Yeah, you know when you're going to pay the bill?
Who are you?
Eh?
Who are you?
The guy that's going to make you eat out of a straw for 6 months if you don't go pay him.
I beg your pardon?
You hear me? I know you have me on tape. Don't worry about it. Just go pay the bill, okay? And I'm not going to come and tell you again. The next time I break your head.
Even seemingly legitimate transactions could take a thuggish turn. The Rizzutos invested $5 million with a firm called Norshield on an upper floor at Place Ville-Marie. The fund went broke, but the family wanted its money back, no matter what. The CEO of Norshield, John Kazanthidakis, was beaten bloody by 3 Rizzuto enforcers who bragged about it later by phone.
I'm smarter than him. I'm not fucking stupid.
You only had good 10, 12 stitches, eh? What did he hit him with, man?
When it's finished.
Fuck. He's fucking bleeding all kinds. The boardroom fucking floor over there.
Yeah, did he come in, though?
Not yet, no. He can't leave the boardroom because there's the girls there. They don't want him to see them. So he's got to wait till 5 o'clock to head for the hospital.
With those powers of persuasion, it's not surprising the Rizzutos have usually got their way, not only from international drug deals and big-time gambling, but also more modest sources. Local restaurant owners were threatened if they didn't use a specific brand of coffee the family distributed. Police say several hundred businesses, from hotels and pizzerias to grocery stores and car dealerships, paid protection money to the Rizzutos, starting at about $100 a month. After 4 years of investigation, 3 of them with recording devices the Rizzutos somehow never found, Project Colisée had more than enough. November 22nd, 2006. In and around Montreal, hundreds of police officers descended on members of the Rizzuto family and their associates. Vito Rizzuto was incarcerated in the U.S., but his father was among the 91 arrested. Most would be convicted, including Nick Rizzuto Sr.
This has never been done before in North America. This is the removal, laterally, of an entire, not only an entire generation of organized criminals, because there's other mafias that work in this. It also took out the infrastructure. It took out the leadership.
When we return, the next Rizzuto.
Oh, he was a gangster. There's no doubt. No doubt in my mind. Filling into the father's shoes.
And will he pay for the family's crimes?
Bodies being left in the street. I mean, young Nick, just boom, boom, no, nothing.
By 2007, the Rizzuto family was unquestionably on the ropes, decimated by the arrests of Project Colisée, the 2 Dons, father and son, both behind bars. Still, there was no question the job of boss would stay in the family.
They are a cult. You don't get a choice. I mean, it's a tragedy because I've met the children of some of these people, and they had no choice. It was like being born with a hair lip. You're born into the mafia, and you can't do nothing about it.
In Montreal, Vito's son, 38-year-old Nick Rizzuto Jr., was the chosen family member, the Don in waiting.
I mean, Nick, tough guy, basically following his father's footsteps, and he'd be the guy. You know, he's the one. He didn't get educated, was on the streets right away, quite early, was a fairly violent man, and that's who it went to.
Oh, he was a gangster. There's no doubt. No doubt in my mind. Filling into the father's shoes.
Paul Sauvé first encountered the Rizzutos in the Montreal construction business. His company had been awarded a $10 million contract for roofing work at Montreal City Hall. Then he got the phone call.
And my cell phone rang, and it was Nick Rizzuto.
It was Nick Rizzuto Jr., and he soon got to the point. He said Sauvé owed him a 5% commission on the contract, $500,000.
It's almost like a movie. It's almost like a scene from Goodfellas. It's the same. It is exactly that.
In fact, according to the RCMP, the so-called 5% tax on huge construction projects may be worth hundreds of millions of dollars a year to the Montreal mob.
It's the same in Italy, it's the same in Montreal, the same way, you know, it's the same way. We are in charge. If you want a contract, you have to pay, you know, you have to pay the royalties to us, because we are in contract.
But there was a catch. Paul Sauvé wouldn't pay. The question was, what would the Rizzutos do about it?
Now I'm a criminal organization because I can beat you. I can threaten your wife. I can burn your trucks. I can burn down a building under construction. That's fairly straightforward.
Indeed, shortly after Sauvé refused the Rizzutos' offer, one of his construction cranes, worth $500,000, mysteriously went up in flames. Then his cell phone rang again. It was Nick Jr.
He says, I'm with Tony, I'm in the parking, and you're going to have to settle up, or you're going to have to pay up, something along those lines.
Sauvé says once more he refused. He never heard from Nick Rizzuto Jr. again.
If you lay low, they're just going to keep coming. You have to confront it. There's no choice. If you stay there and, you know, in fear, you're going to get squashed. There's no question. That's how these people operate.
Not long afterwards, in December 2009, the Don-to-be was shot 6 times and killed outside a Montreal building. At Nick Jr.'s funeral, the old Don, Nick Sr., now out of prison, was front and center. With his grandson dead and his son still behind bars, at 85, he was back in charge of the family.
The thinkers are all in jail. They're all arrested. Vito's out, so no strong figurehead. The old guy's old. I mean, you know, he's still a bit of a doddering guy, still a master criminal, but there's a family who lost a lot of members to Nick Rizzuto. Nick Rizzuto killed an awful lot of people.
Nick Sr.'s past was coming back to haunt him with a vengeance. When the Rizzutos consolidated power in Montreal in the 1970s, they gained the upper hand by ruthlessly killing members of rival families with names like Catrone and Violi. The survivors of that bloodbath apparently have long memories of what happened 30 years ago.
One of the Violi brothers, I think it was Rocco, was at home sitting at his kitchen table, and his family was with him in the kitchen. And a sniper shot him right through the head. Shot him dead in front of his family.
Retribution, simmering for decades, was now boiling over. Vito's son and successor, murdered. A family associate, gunned down. His brother-in-law, kidnapped and presumed dead. His underboss, shot to death. And it's not only violence against the Rizzutos. An epidemic of firebombing and arson has also sent a message to those who do business with the family.
It's some clans try to expand their territory some clans want to impose their power in those places. They say, hey, the Sicilian, it's finished, it's our turn.
It's a power struggle. It's basically what it, you know, it's the whole thing. It's money and power.
Mob infiltrator Joe Pistone brought down the Bonanno crime family. He says mafia power struggles are like corporate takeovers with automatic weapons.
You have to get your executives in line, and you know whoever lines up the most powerful executives is going to win. Only in this case, the way you win is you kill the guys. You know, you don't buy them out, you kill them.
But for now, Vito Rizzuto is powerless to respond, in prison in Colorado for 2 more years, while his family hunkers down in Montreal.
They're hurting, and there's nothing that they can do about it. There's nowhere they can go. They can't go to the cops. They can't go back to Italy. They just have to sit there and wait for the next horror.
Yeah.
But I think his pain must just be horrible sitting in that cell, and he can't do anything.
After 30 years in power, Rizzuto's soldiers now appear outgunned and outmaneuvered, and that doesn't seem likely to change 2 years from now, when their boss's sentence is up.
Personally, I don't think Vito will try to take over the power again in Montreal, because he will be 67, you know, and he knows that the message is clear. We don't want any Rizzutos on power for the next. It's our time, you know. They're finished. The Rizzuto clan, it's finished in Montreal for sure.
I'm still impressed for the mystery around that man, but I think now he's gone. The Rizzuto reign is past now. Now it's somebody else gonna run the show. Who? I don't know. It's been too long that I'm not no more in that business. But they'll find someone.
For now, whoever knows who's behind the takeover isn't saying. Police sources believe the murders and bombings could involve various crime groups, perhaps the Bonannos from New York, even mutinous younger members of the Rizzuto organization, and most likely rival mafia families in Ontario and Quebec. Which brings us back to Mafia Row in Montreal on that evening in November. And the single shot from a high-powered rifle that killed Nick Rizzuto Sr. in front of his wife and daughter. Echoing and ending his own murderous career.
Yeah, you don't deny his house with his family, so how does old Nick go? Nick, who ordered that? Nick's in his house with his family. Sniper through the window. And he's down. In that case, that's so obvious. There's absolutely no question. I'm not saying you have to have respect, but there is a way of doing things. If you're a real Sicilian mafia man, somebody's got to kill you. They got to kill you. You know, you can't just die like some guy with tubes up your nose. You got to have enemies so strong, you've got to be so strong yourself that your enemies, they got to whack you.
The Rizzuto clan, it's finished in Montreal for sure. But I think, just for the honor, he will revenge one day the killing of his son and of his father.
But revenge would seem to be the least of Vito Rizzuto's problems. In his ancestral home of Italy, the government has seized $400 million of Rizzuto property in cash and issued an extradition order for him. So for Canada's boss of bosses, who always got his cut and made others pay, after years in prison, losing his father, his son, and much of his family business, unbelievably, the future could be even worse.
He comes back to Montreal, he'll just be waiting to be killed. Italy wants to put him in jail. The safest place for him right now is where he is. Jails in Italy are notorious, prisons. He'll get killed in prison over there. Now we're going to see what the man's made of. No dad, no son. He's alone. First time in his life. First time in his life.
Though there have been arrests in Montreal and some of the fire bombings and arson, as with the majority of mob-on-mob murders, There have been no charges in any of the killings of Rizzuto family members and associates. We will follow developments on both sides of the border, and we'll be right back.